Welcome back to a new video. This is going to be just a regular one, so no mic'd up one, at least for this one, so I can make sure I'm getting in some good work in this one. Platform looks a little bit wet because my shoes were a little bit wet coming in here, but it doesn't really get too slippery, thankfully. But the goal today is less on the weightlifting and more on the strength side. Yesterday was a lot of heavy weightlifting work, so today the focus is going to be some pause snatches, some pause clean plus pause jerk, but both of them are going to stay pretty light because then I want to do some front squat doubles. I'm not sure what that weight will end up being, but I'm not going to have a belt out here, so I'm just going to have probably my heavy knee wraps and just see where I can go with those, and then some snatch balances. And I may switch the order of the snatch balances in the front squats, but I want to start out with the complexes in the snatch and the clean jerk, mostly to use as a warm-up for the other lifts, and because if I'm doing snatch balances and front squats, I'm probably not going to want to do weightlifting stuff after. So we're going to get after that, envisioning that I'm going to probably do the snatch work at around 80, and then the clean jerk work probably about 100. There takes a couple kilos. But if I'm feeling good, I might push them up a little bit more. But I did go pretty hard yesterday with the snatches and cleans and jerks even. So I probably won't go too crazy with those. I don't have a particular goal with the front squats. Like I said, I want to do doubles on the front squat, and probably similar thing with the snatch balances. But it's actually decently warm out. It's just under 50 degrees, which for out here, once I get moving, then it will feel fine. Plus, I have the little heater over there, so it actually will get decently warm out here. And I went back and forth. I thought about going to the gym today. It's President's Day, so I didn't even have school today. But it being kind of warm enough, I was like, I'm just going to stretch and like start warming up inside the house and then come out here. And so I've been stretching, doing some stuff prior to coming out here. So I feel, pretty ready to start training despite it being a little bit colder. So we're not going to do muscle snatches today or anything. We're just going to do the pause snatches, pause below the knee, and same with the cleans, and then pause jerks are pretty self-explanatory. And then just kind of go by it by there. I think after both of those front squats and snatch balances, I want to do some sort of pulling. Might do some deficit snatch pulls. I haven't decided that fully, but definitely the strength work is going to be the focus on this second day. And so nothing more to say other than just to get after it. But start doing some pause snatches and just keep moving from there. But hopefully, I don't want to say especially this workout will go too quick, but at least the weightlifting stuff should be a pretty quick one. Because I think that in my mind, I was like, I'm going to do 5 doubles. But I think that it'll be smarter just to do singles. So we'll get after it and see where I can get to and as far as the strength movements go. But that's going to be it for this part, so I'll talk to you at the end.
a really athletic and dynamic player athletically on the field at ASU to a guy that was controlling the game from the pocket, so he was more well-rounded. Say he just played 2 full seasons without getting
Well, I must say that was pretty much the perfect session. Everything went basically as well as I could have hoped it. The only thing would be heavier weights, but I mean, snatch balancing or overhead squatting, whatever you want to call that, with 130. Quite excited to be able to do. And the front squats, they felt good. Felt a little bit in my IT band, but my back felt even better than the last week when I was doing doubles with them. I don't know if, because that's one of the adjustments I'm going to make. I don't know if I want to do like 5 sets of doubles on a day like this, or keep it at 3 and then have another day where I'm doing a similar workout. So I have to kind of play around with that, but potentially, much how my goal in the previous day was to increase the sets at the heavier weights for like the doubles with the snatch and the cleans. Potentially that would be a goal for this, to be able to increase the amount of doubles I'm doing as well as the weight. With the pulls, I can kind of progress them in a linear fashion just because they're pulls and they're not too difficult. Although from the deficit, it was definitely challenging because I had to really focus on trying to get my knees back and out of the way. I was bumping them a lot with the bar, but I was really trying to emphasize keeping it close as I fall back, keeping it close around my shin and past my knees along my thighs. So I think this will definitely be a movement I want to do probably once a week. I'm thinking probably about 4 days of pulls where I have a day of deficit pulls, deficit snatch pulls, deficit clean pulls, and then the same thing with regular clean pulls and regular snatch pulls. Probably pretty, like 3x2 seems like a decent amount of volume, especially if I'm going to be doing 4 sessions of those. With the squats, I have to kind of think throughout the week. I know I for sure will be doing one more front squat session after the like max out or like the heavy day of the week, which won't be a true max out day. It'll be similar to the first day, except my range will be a little bit higher and they'll be in singles. Same with the clean and jerk, so it'll be less about necessarily getting to like a maximum weight, although obviously that would be the goal to eventually do, but to more so be able to stay in the like the 110 to 120 for the snatch, and then like between 140 and 150 for the clean and jerk, and then if I feel good, then push above that. But on that day, having a front squat session after the lifts, and probably having it be less intense than this one, although this one wasn't like crazy intense, but this one was like 3x2, and then the focus is more so like heavier weights in the front squat eventually, and then on the other day being either just singles at a higher intensity or lighter weights at more volume. I'm kind of erring on the side of keeping it lower weights at more volume, and then potentially having maybe 2 other days where I have a similar mindset with the back squat. So I have a heavier, or a day like this where it's heavier doubles, and then a day where it's more volume based. So I guess that's similar to how the Chinese program a lot of their squats, but I'm kind of envisioning that for the squats as well. I just kind of have to look at the week, how it looks, and see how I want to place things in. As far as accessory work today, I mean, basically everything I did was an accessory past the snatch and clean jerk work. But the main accessory I'm going to do today is actually not in here. I'm actually just going to do the stationary bike in the house. I don't necessarily have a plan on cardio and trying to like increase that, but doing that a couple times a week certainly won't be bad. And when I'm at the gym doing things like walking backwards on the treadmill, just different forms of cardio will certainly just be good in general to do, particularly like on these days or these weeks, although they're pretty occasional, where I don't have a lot of movement for a couple days. So from Thursday, we had a professional development day and we're sitting all day, and then Friday throughout the weekend, I'm not teaching, so I kind of have to be more intentional about the movement that I have. That's more passive movement. That's not really like a detriment to training, but is more so going to keep my body just generally healthy. This movement is good to do in general at lighter intensities. Walking or walking on treadmills, stuff like that. But I've done 2 days of shoulder accessories, as well as yesterday you saw I did some barbell rows. So I don't want to do more of those today. Potentially tomorrow I'll do some pull-ups or something, but kind of have to think through what I want that to look like. I'm definitely very happy with the session today and how it looked, and trying to maybe mimic it, but I don't know. I have to kind of see week to week, because I don't think the 130 snatch balance will be necessarily a consistent thing I can do every single week. But of course, I can do snatch balances, so I might try to increase the volume with that. How on some of the warm-up sets, I did a snatch balance plus an overhead squat up until through 90, and then I went to just doing a snatch balance. So that might be something where I try to increase that, but also liked dropping down and doing some overhead squat drop sets. So I think that will definitely be something that I will utilize, because of course, it's going to help with just overhead stability and strength, but it also is a fantastic warm up for the front squats, because the weight's really light and it's more so of an upper body strength movement. So it's just, I actually got I got a little bit of a leg pump from it, but it was like more, I felt ready to front squat after that. So that's something definitely to keep in mind. But I don't know, I'm pretty happy, because yesterday, and I mean even the day before, but like yesterday especially, like I did a decent amount of accessory work, I did a lot of work, and to be able to do more today is good. So it's just kind of building upon that. Not sure what tomorrow will look like. I kind of have it tentatively written down, but I have to sit down and kind of look at it to see what it looks like, and then see how I'm feeling when I get to the actual gym. I think in kind of tentatively, it would be some singles in the snatch and the clean and jerk at similar intensities as the Monday, or I guess I did it on Sunday, but as a day one session, and having it more be practice in that sense. And then other movements, I'm not sure if it will just be those or other things as well. So we'll play around with it and see, because I want to have a consistent structure week to week that I can either maintain or progress on different days, and just have something that's more measurable week to week. And I guess similar to what I was kind of complaining about with AI, is like I'm getting the same things, but have movements like the snatch balance or the rack jerks that I think are good to do, and just trying to progress those, because I think that will work on a lot of the weaknesses. And then having other movements like the overhead squat drop sets that were never really ever programmed in, but just utilizing those different forms of accessory work to add them in, and then seeing the effect at the end of the week. If I feel really good at the end of the week, and I'm doing lots of sets, and I'm feeling really fresh, and I think I can push a little bit harder, but just kind of cycling through that 4-week block and seeing how I feel at the end of it, and then just making those adjustments. But that's going to be it for this one. Really productive workout. Really happy with that. But I'm going to go in, change my shoes, because I don't want to be doing it in these weightlift shoes, which I don't know if you noticed, but I painted the swoosh on my Nikes. They weren't bought like that, but if they're just the regular black Romaleos, and I got some, they're like ink. I forget what it was. It's like oil-based Sharpies. I think that's what they're called. And I had just painted black on my one shoe just to see what it would look like. It's not really that noticeable now, but the red swoosh, I definitely like the aesthetic of that. So I might be trying to fix that at some point. But as far as video, I'm sure it looks fine. But I like that. I don't know. It was kind of fun to do. I originally bought them for a T-shirt, try to fix the lettering on it, and I figured I would mess around with the shoes as well, because I'm weird like that. But that's going to be it for this one. So if you made it this far, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all in the next video. Peace.